Have you ever been judged the moment you walked in? Like your worth was measured by your clothes? She was. She didn't scream, didn't beg, didn't even argue. Because the woman they humiliated was the one person they should have never underestimated. Na walked into Maison Claire de Lune on a breezy April morning. The kind where New York City smelled of coffee, rain, and money. She wore beige culottes, a loose cotton blouse, and quiet confidence. No makeup, no jewelry, no designer bag, just a simple canvas tote slung over one shoulder. The boutique was a temple of luxury, crystal chandeliers, silk-lined racks, and gowns that shimmered like moonlight on water. And yet when she walked in, the room went still. Not in awe, in judgment. The staff, dressed in sleek black dresses, paused their chatter. Camille, the tall one with a perfect bun and sharper tongue, arched a brow. "Can we help you?" she asked, her tone laced with disbelief. Na smiled politely. "I'm here for my fitting. Nina Everheart, 11 a.m. She showed the email on her phone. Logo, time, confirmation. Camille glanced at the screen, then back at her outfit. Her smirk said it all. "Our gowns start at $80,000, she said slowly, like Na didn't understand English. "We don't rent," the others snickered. Laya, the youngest, leaned toward the others and whispered just loud enough, "Did she steal someone's email? Happens all the time." Na didn't flinch. "No mistake," she replied, voice calm as a still lake. "I placed a custom order 6 months ago. Ivory silk, diamond embroidery." Camille crossed her arms. "Sweetheart, we don't do walk-ins. And we definitely don't do—" She waved her hand at Na's outfit like it was contagious. "This." Margot scrolled through her tablet. Never heard of Nina Everheart. Sophie, now live-streaming with a smirk, typed fast, "Stranger in clearance clothes crashes elite bridal fitting." The comments rolled in fast. "Who is she kidding? Bet she's just a clout chaser. Get her out." Na stood her ground, calm, composed. "I'd like to speak to the manager," she said. Camille laughed. "I am the manager, and you're not on the list." She nodded to Laya. "Escort her out, please, quietly." They didn't touch her, but they circled, like wolves pretending to be polite. And as they guided her toward the exit, the cruelty doubled. A woman in a mink coat stepped in. Victoria Lang, old money, cold heart. "Who let this riffraff in?" she barked. She stepped forward, flicked Na's blouse with a manicured finger. "This," she spat, "is an insult to couture." The staff laughed, the cameras clicked, and the livestream comments exploded. "Make her cry. Trash doesn't belong here." Na stood still, her tote still on her shoulder, her expression unreadable. "You're making a mistake," she said. Not to them, to herself. A soft truth carried on steel resolve. Sophie's stream hit 2,000 viewers. Camille shouted, "Try a department store next time." The glass door swung open, and the street swallowed her whole. By nightfall, she was viral. Page 6 called her a delusional dreamer. The Daily Mail called her a fashion fail. Reddit, Twitter, TikTok. Her beige culottes were everywhere. Meme after meme mocked her as the nobody who thought she belonged. But what no one knew was that she wasn't a nobody. And in just 2 days, they'd all be invited to the most exclusive wedding in the world. And they'd be the ones gasping when she walked in. Not in revenge, not in rage, but in something far more powerful. Grace dressed in truth. What happens when the world laughs at you twice, only louder the second time? They kicked her out once, publicly, cruelly, and now they were about to do it again. Only this time, at the wedding of the year. And the cameras were already rolling. Nobody knew the bride's name. That was the mystery. Some whispered she was a royal. Others said a tech heiress, a hidden supermodel. But no one imagined it could be her. The girl in beige, the same boutique staff who humiliated her, were now invited to the most exclusive event of the decade. They assumed it was for their influence, their fashion clout, their live stream reach. They were wrong. Sophie, now with 10,000 new followers after her viral takedown, strutted into the French chateau gates in crimson silk, phone in hand. "This is my moment," she whispered. Camille, draped in sapphire velvet, dropped designer names with every breath. Laya grinned in emerald silk. Margot followed silently in black lace, eyes scanning the crowd like something didn't sit right. The courtyard bloomed with marble fountains, white lilies, and the shimmer of wealth. Diamonds sparkled, laughter sliced. And then she appeared. Nah, wearing beige again, a sleeveless linen dress, scuffed flats, no jewelry, no bag, just herself. She looked like she wandered in from a farmer's market, not a billionaire's wedding. Sophie gasped. "No way. It's beige, girl." Camille's eyes narrowed. "She's got nerve." Laya laughed, drawing attention. "Is she crashing again? In that?" Zara Kane, a fashion influencer with 1 million followers, whipped out her phone. "She get lost on her way to Goodwill?" Laughter rippled. Phones rose like weapons. Na stood in the center of it all, still as stone, her hazel eyes scanning the faces, unmoved. She declined a waiter's champagne with a soft smile. Sophie's livestream was already blowing up. Beige girl crashes again. Billionaire wedding edition. 20,000, then 30,000 viewers. Camille stepped forward, her voice sliced through Vivaldi. "You don't belong here." The music stopped. From the fountain, a group of fashion interns began to circle. "She's probably here to steal a dress," one girl shouted. A macaron hit Na's dress. Pink crumbs stuck to the hem. "Take that back to Brooklyn." Sophie's camera zoomed in on the stain. Na stood tall. "You're making a mistake," she said again. Quiet, even. Camille scoffed. "You're not on the list." "Ask Raphael," Na replied. The name landed like thunder. For a moment, silence. Then Camille laughed like a whip. "Raphael Linwood, you're dreaming." Security moved in. Hugo, a towering guard, stepped beside her. "Let's go," he said. As Na was led toward the gates, Sophie's view count exploded. 50,000 and rising. Zara tossed her hair. "Maybe try a courthouse wedding next time." Theo added, "Send her to the cheap seats." The crowd howled. Then a famous designer, Julian Rex, joined the chaos. "This," he said, voice booming, "is why we gatekeep." He sneered. "You're a walking mockery of taste." He threw his cocktail napkin at her feet. The crowd roared again. Na stepped over it without a word. Still walking, still upright. Each insult a storm. And she was the eye. Then came Priya Shah, a tech heiress wrapped in molten gold. "She's scamming us all," she shouted, grabbing a glass of rosé. And without hesitation, she flung it. The pink liquid splashed Na's dress. It soaked into the fabric, slid down her legs, dripped from her fingers. 80,000 viewers now. "Drown the fraud," someone commented. Na wiped a drop from her cheek. Not a single word, not a tear. She just kept walking, toward the gates, through the hate. Because Na knew something they didn't. They were seconds away from a truth they'd never forget. Have you ever watched someone rise from public shame into untouchable glory? They kicked her out, laughed, mocked her in front of the world. And now, those same people were raising champagne flutes, celebrating her exit. But they didn't know. They had just escorted the bride out of her own wedding. Margot broke away from the clapping crowd, her voice barely audible. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Na looked at her, just for a moment, a flicker of warmth, then silence. She said nothing. She didn't need to. Hugo led her toward the back gates as the taunts hit their peak. "Wedding crasher! Go home!" Sophie's livestream caught it all, zoomed in on Na's scuffed flats, her plain dress, her posture like steel. Beigegate trended worldwide. Meme after meme. When you gate crash a billionaire wedding in linen. Then she vanished, escorted through a side door. The crowd erupted like they'd won. Zara posted the exit clip. "Total embarrassment," Theo added. "That's how you handle nobodies." Camille raised her glass. "Cheers to keeping the elite, elite." Inside the chateau, the candlelight dimmed. The hall glowed gold. Gowns rustled, glasses clinked, and the whispers began. "Where's the bride?" Sophie's fingers hovered over her phone. "Did she cancel?" "Scandal." She was ready to break the story. Then, the doors opened, and the world stopped. Nina Everheart walked in, not in beige. In the gown they wouldn't let her try on. Ivory silk poured down her frame. Diamonds winked from her bodice. Her hair swept up like a crown. A single clip glittered like justice. On her arm, Raphael Linwood, the billionaire, the groom. His gaze never left her, like she was the only thing real in the room. Gasps echoed. Camille dropped her flute. It shattered. Sophie's stream surged past 200,000 viewers. Zara's mouth hung open. Theo looked like he was choking. Margot, smiling through her tears. Raphael stepped forward, his voice low but thunderous. "This is Nina Everheart, my wife." The room collapsed into silence. "We've been engaged for 2 years, in secret, not because she's hiding, but because she's stronger than any of you know." He turned, eyes burning through the glitter and fake smiles. "She's also the founder and CEO of Eve, the brand most of you are wearing right now, without knowing who created it." Gasps. Evening, the mysterious fashion empire, the one that changed the game, valued at $10.2 billion. The CEO's identity, unknown until now. "She built it alone," Raphael said. "No investors, no connections, just her designs and a laptop in a Brooklyn studio." The crowd went pale. Camille collapsed into a chair. Sophie's livestream hit 500,000, and Raphael wasn't done. "She's also the new owner of Maison Claire de Lune." Camille let out a gasp, more animal than human. "She's been negotiating the acquisition for months. As of yesterday, she's your boss." Sophie's phone trembled. Zara dropped hers. It cracked. Theo could barely whisper, "Impossible." Then came the reckoning. Raphael turned to Elena Ruiz, Na's chief of staff. "Elena," he said, "name them." Elena's voice sliced the air. "Camille Moreau, Laya Tran, Sophie Bell, for orchestrating and live-streaming Na's public humiliation. Zara Kane, Theo Voss, for amplifying the slander." "You're done." The guards moved fast. Camille screamed, "This is a mistake." Hugo didn't flinch. Her sapphire gown ripped as she was dragged across the floor. Outside, paparazzi flooded in. Flashbulbs lit up her mascara-streaked face. Claire de Lune manager fired by mystery bride was already trending. Camille's empire crumbled with every step. Laya followed, sobbing. Sophie tried to shut her livestream, but it was confiscated. Her fall was live, 800,000 watching. Zara was speechless. Theo stammered. They were marched out one by one. No mercy, no edit, only consequences. Then Priya Shah, the woman who drenched Na in wine, tried to run. Her gown ripped. Her gold bracelets clattered to the ground. "You can't do this," she screamed. But it was too late. Her empire's shares had already tanked. Hashtag number sign. Priya Falls was everywhere. The world cheered Na's silence louder than they ever mocked her voice. Outside, the gates slammed shut, locking out every ounce of cruelty that once laughed at her. Inside, Na stood radiant, not just as a bride, not just as a billionaire, but as a symbol of grace under fire, of revenge without rage, of what happens when power wears beige, and the world would never forget her name again. What if your silence wasn't weakness, but the loudest thing in the room? They mocked her. They streamed her pain. They dragged her name through the dirt. Now, they were watching in awe as the world bowed to Everheart. Social media exploded. Nina Everheart trended across every platform. Memes that once mocked her beige culottes now celebrated her crown of grace, her gown, her silence, her fire. And in the center of it all, Nina Everheart stepped forward. Her voice was soft, but unshakable. "This isn't about revenge," she said. The crowd stilled. The music faded. The chandeliers almost seemed to listen. "It's about respect. I built Eve not to divide, but to create beauty for every woman. But I've seen what this industry does to people who don't look the way it wants. That ends now." Her hazel eyes scanned the room. They stopped briefly on Margot, standing alone, tear-streaked, hands trembling. "Maison Claire de Lune will merge with Eve," Na continued. "No more gatekeeping, no more cruelty. We'll design for every woman, not just the ones you deem worthy." The room was still. Some nodded, others just absorbed the weight of what she had done. Then came the final cut, gentle but unforgettable. "And to those who judged me, learn from this. Kindness costs nothing, but cruelty always comes with a price." She turned to Raphael. He reached for her hand, not to lead her, but to stand beside her. The officiant stepped forward, silver hair, gentle voice. He began the vows under a sky full of stars. Na's words were steady. Raphael's voice was reverent. And when they kissed, it wasn't for the cameras, it was for truth. They weren't just husband and wife, they were partners in power, rewriting an industry with soul. Later, under garden lanterns and soft music, Elena approached Na with a quiet nod. "It's done," she said. "The staff is terminated. The merger is public. You're being called a revolutionary." Na smiled, leaning into Raphael. "Good," she said. "Let's keep it that way." As the night rolled on, Na found Margot sitting alone near the fountain. "You apologized," Na said gently. "That mattered." Margot's eyes filled again. "I didn't know who you were." "You don't need to know someone's name to be kind," Na replied. Then she paused. "Eve Bridal needs a face. I want it to be you." Margot's breath caught. "Me?" Na nodded. "You saw me when no one else did." The party danced on, but Na and Raphael slipped away, hand in hand, to the edge of the chateau. He tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "You changed the game tonight," he whispered. She smiled, her hazel eyes reflecting the stars. "We did. Together." She didn't need applause. She didn't need revenge. She'd walked through fire and came out wearing light. If this story hit something deep inside you, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more women like her.